We tend to focus more on the negative aspects of money. How money is bad, how is dirty, that kind of thing. There are very few people who stand like I'm standing today to say money is good. In our school, the positive psychology, we are taught to look at the positive side of things. We are not ignoring the fact that there are sand, days, and whatever. But we are looking at this ignored area. We are looking at, instead of emphasizing so much on sadness, we are also emphasizing on pleasure. We are emphasizing on happiness rather than grief and sorrow. So I'm here today to look at money in that framework, in that context. Now, what do we have? From our own upbringing, from the family, from the church, I'm here, priest, father will agree, and Kinarwaj, the Muslims. Money has been given a bad name. Money is dirty. And I think if I can refer you to the Bible, Timothy 6 verse 10, which says, the love for money is the root of all evil. You know about that? Matthew 19 verse 23 to 26, where Jesus said, it is easier for a camel to go through the needle's eye than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. Some of you are businessmen. You want to be rich, but do you want to go to hell? Don't you want to go to heaven? Are we together? Some of the Indians are rich people. But even the Gita, which is the equivalent of their Bible, says that wealth and possessions are like fire, which burns the heart. So for the Indians, wealth is also bad. It is like fire which burns the heart. I've not read the Quran, but I believe you'll be able to relate. Even for Muslims, there's something which they say like that. But it's not only that. Even literature that we have read, most prominent being The Merchant of Venice. You remember that one? The Shakespeare story. It's a very bad man there, a Jew called Shylock, who demands a pound of flesh from Antonio because Antonio has failed to pay his debt. How do you look at Shylock? You know, Shylock is portrayed as a heartless person. It shows how money makes people inhuman, how it leads to devaluation of life, and it's a terrible thing to be a money lender. If you read the Merchant of Venice. But what are you people in circles doing? You also want money. Nasikia wengine wametoa roof akina mama wengine. Yeah? So these are examples. Money at its worst. Money destroys the soul. That greed for money. Some of you have read a bit of politics. At the university, we studied Karl Marx. I know many people are not familiar with it, don't like the name, but Karl Marx and also his own views about money. And he was saying money was a corrosive acid which burns social bonds. It's an acid which destroys human relationships. The other idea is say money is a chain of gold which tethers the majority of the population to a life of toil and misery. But what do you get out of it? Like Marx was talking about workers. Workers tied by chains of gold, by love of money, to do miserable things and to live a life of sorrow and misery. It's only not to come also back home. Umesikia? Those people get a lot of money. Sometimes we don't understand how they have got it. Tugaba in Anjin. They work on Anjin, isn't it? Yeah, there's something evil, mysterious for these people. Then you want such adjectives. How many causes in greed, envy, such things. And for sure, sometimes endless search for money can cause serious psychological disorders. Unafanya kazi, you don't rest, you don't have enough sleep, or you have that loan which you can't pay. Can you have sleep? You wake up in the middle of the night. You are seriously disturbed. A lot of anxiety, and it can cause even chronic diseases. So, all manner of evil has been described seriously, about money. That's where we have come from. And this is the principal narrative in our society. Money is evil, bad, causes stress, diseases, and all that. Now, will our children look for money if it is causing all these problems? Isn't it? And if finally you are going to hell because of it, will you not rather stay away so that you can end up well, Father? Are we together? So, I'm here in the school society. I'm here to give a different narrative, about money. That money is really not what we have been taught to think it is. That my main message is money is good, and money should be looked for, and money is important for our life. So we have to change all those things I've been telling you, because we have been looking at the negative aspects of money. Now I want us to look at the positive aspects of money. And what are these ones? Sorry, I forgot to tell you about the sample Britain called the psychology of money by somebody called Morgan Housel. You can look at it. And Morgan Housel, the psychology of money, who says that modern capitalism does not only generate wealth, it also generates envy and jealousy. And it also creates social expectations which are difficult for us to meet. So you always live a life of longing for things which you never, actually get. So in these days of social media, if you go for holiday somewhere, you take selfies and send to your friends. Why are you sending your pictures lying in Mombasa or somewhere? See, what do you think impact it has? See, the cause is envy. But I wish I'm the one who these people are. And then you're also showing how you're doing well. See, deal. So this social promotion and social comparisons in the social media are causing a lot of dissatisfaction and emptiness in our lives. And it is also one of the evils which is said to be your money. Then a question is asked about the competition. Of course, it's not announced, but it's a silent competition. You come to my house, you find a big TV, high definition TV. You go home, you're a woman, you tell your husband, you go, no, TV yet, upper. It's not good enough. You have to have a bigger TV. You have a nice car, but it has old number plates. So you go back and say, oh, I saw Mwalimu Kiruja with a new car. Okay, it was not new. We just had new number plates. Then you say we have to have another. So there's a silent competition about the possessions we are having. And then we are watching TV every day. The TV is defining how we live. It's telling you what to eat. Is it kabagara? TV is telling you, what to wear, how to look, and even defining who is more beautiful than the other. Who says slim women are more beautiful than the big ones? Yeah? All these are, social media creations, because there is no way God can create uniform people who will be so boring, isn't it? Yeah. So, social media, our competition for better gadgets, better clothes, and all that, is also causing envy, jealousy, and unhappiness in our lives. Then our question is being asked. Who has enough money in this country? One person. Because there is no person who has ever got enough money. In fact, those who are stealing the communist patterns of the world are people with so much money, but they are still looking for more. So it's a search for the impossible. It is an impossible task. But it is for you now to make a decision. Whether you die running for something you never really get, or you put some limits. We are not saying money is bad, but you have to have some relationship with it. So you have to manage social pressure and the competition and comparison, because this is what causes a lot of unhappiness in our society. So now, what are we saying? We are saying we need to reevaluate that psychology of money. We need to reevaluate our own personal philosophy of money if we are to be happy. And that's the subject of this meeting. Simply what I'm saying is money does not necessarily have to be bad. Money does not necessarily have to cause unhappiness. I'm saying used in a proper way, having a good psychological relationship with money. Money can give you happiness, and it does give happiness if it is used in certain ways. And that's our key message for tonight. There's an old book written by Dr. Joseph Murphy called The Power of Subconscious Mind, written way back in 1963. That book is said we should not glorify or romanticize poverty. And simply said, you can't be happy if you are very poor. If you don't have the basic needs, you cannot be happy. Your children are with you and you can't give them food. you'll be a very unhappy person, isn't it? Yeah, so we have to work hard so that at least we get ourselves out of the deeper poverty levels. But he also says everyone has a right to live undignified, rich, prosperous, and happy life. The category of human rights is not closed. It's a new right. A right to a prosperous and happy life. And that's what we are looking for. He goes on to say there is no virtue in poverty. So we are not here to live in overalls, dressed in rags, or sleep hungry. Dr. Murphy was a Christian psychologist, and he's one who said, we have created the image of God. And he said, even God came to a village today. How would God be dressed? Would he be having shoes or no shoes? Would he wear the latest suit or will he be dressed in rags? And where would he live? Would he live on a carton house or a stone house? So he says if God was here, God will be in the best of all these things. So he said, you, representing the image of God, you have to dress the best you can. You have to eat the best food you can. Live in the best place you can. But you're not defining, because our levels are different, but it says you try to live in your best, circumstances. This is not to say money will buy you happiness. Because happiness is not something in the mortuary where you can go buy and take home. Happiness is not in the shop. Happiness is not buying those gadgets I'm telling you about. But you can use money to buy things which can make you happy. And one of those things that you can buy are relationships. You can use money to create good relationships with your friends, with your children, etc., etc. Because happiness lies in the social universe. Are we together? Even giving money to other people. The Bible says it's more blessed to give than to receive. So even giving, can give you happiness. What money does is to give you freedom. Money gives you freedom to do whatever pleases your heart. Maybe you want to go and see America. That is the longing of your heart. Can you get there without money? You have to have some money, isn't it? Yeah. Maybe you want to eat meat 3 days a week. Can you do that without money? Yeah? Yeah. Maybe you want to dress in a dress you saw in a shop. That's your longing. Can you do that without money? So money helps us to realize our dreams. Money gives us freedom to do the things that we should do. And when you do those things, for sure, you get happiness. You get experiences. This life is full of surprises. Another Indian was asking a professor to tell him how tomorrow will be like. Because he's very educated. Yes, tomorrow itakuwa namna gani. And of course, nobody for sure knows. The only day you know what you're passed through today. But what is ahead of you, you don't know. talking to Marvin, he was driving after me when we were coming from Kenya today. He said there was an accident immediately after my car passed. I didn't see it. But he was left dealing with it. Now tomorrow, there could be an accident somewhere. Do you know? Father, do you know tomorrow what will happen? All of us just hope that things will be fine. But there could be major surprises. You don't know. Your house can go on fire. So we can use money to give us some comfort so that we can handle those surprises when they come. Even if you do nothing, but you have money in the bank, money gives you good sleep. Because hata ukiwa mgonjwa, utaweza kununua dawa, isn't it? And you also know that even if something happens to your neighbor, you can help, that neighbor. So there's a certain comfort. There's a certain peace which money gives you, even if you're not using it. So money is important in calming you, giving you peace and calm in your life. You're not buying anything, whatever, but you are sure with the money somewhere, then you can handle emergencies that come with the surprises of life. Then you can use it to promote social bonds. You don't belong to a clan or another, isn't it? You have called clan renters to come to your home. So watakunywa chai. Ukiwachinjia mbuzi, things will be better, isn't it? Yeah, so you need money even to create those social bonds. The ladies are better than us in chamas and what have you. When they take tea, we even sing there. They are happy. Kunywa chai. But even that tea will cost some money. So you need money to create friendships and enhance your happiness. This month is the Valentine month. Many young relationships are going to break up. Wale vijana ambao hawatapata pesa ya maua, the red roses, they'll be in trouble. Others will be sick and show up after the end of the month. So, even to maintain those romantic relationships, you need a certain amount of, money. So money is very important to build and maintain social relationships. And they say social relationships are the greatest generators of happiness. So in that respect, money is great. Now, we can't sit here and give you a general prescription about how to use money to make yourself happy. Because happiness is subjective, and how you use your money is also subjective. But for money to make you happy, you have to have certain attitudes and beliefs about how you make or spend your money. There are some ways of making money which can make you very unhappy. Some are dangerous. You want to get money quickly in a day, rob a bank. Yeah, you have zero, you end up being a millionaire or beyond just by breaking the door of a bank. But in the process, the risks you take, the anxieties you go through, and sometimes you might even find yourself dead, in the process. So that way of looking for money cannot give you happiness. Even if you succeed, the bank robbers have to go into hiding. Do you think it's very interesting sleeping the whole day, hiding somewhere? because you have money in a place. You know, it can be the most boring thing. Other people are working, they are laughing, all as a feature because you stole and you have a lot of money. Even the Bible says, money made righteously makes you happy, isn't it? Money made through criminal syndicates causes a lot of anxiety and unhappiness. Then now, how do you spend? And this is where I told you at the beginning, nobody can give you happiness. Happiness is your own personal business. Happiness is a personal journey of self-discovery. What talks like this can give you general theories and frameworks of what you yourself can do to make your life happier. So even what I'm going to tell you can do with your money is not exhaustive. It's what I have read, what I've seen, and it is for you to choose it or some of it. But finally, the decision whether you'll be happy or sad is your own personal decision. That's what they call personal psychology of money. You have to have your own relationship with money for money to make you happy or sad. It's a very good book written by David Ramsey, which is called The Money Makeover. And he makes 5 useful suggestions of how you can use your money and become happy. It's something I would invite you to consider. And it doesn't matter how much money you are, because as we said, money will never be enough. You can be happy with less money. You can be happy even with much more money. But the amount itself does not determine your happiness. I think the richest man in the world in those days was Rockefeller. And when he was dying, he was saying he has made lots and lots of money, but also lots and lots of unhappiness. So his billionaires, his billions did not translate into happiness. So he says first, you have to be very realistic about the money. And in other words, you have to confront it, look at it, and decide how much it is, and then you do a budget. Given so much, how do you want to spend it? So making a budget is a very first step. Number 2, we talked about life being uncertain. You want to remove worries. Make sure out of the money you get, you have put a little aside, or you have taken insurance to cater for the emergencies, which will definitely come into life. Nobody should cheat you. Every life will have one form of misery or another. Even happy lives are not happy all the time. A day of sadness is going to come. And if it does not come already, be prepared because it is coming. So put something aside for that day. 3, right, so you can invest the money. Because money will never be enough. You have to keep on trying to increase whatever little you have. Why don't you put it in circle and have some interest? Why don't you do something, business, whatever, which can keep on increasing your money? Because you need money and you to keep on trying to, to increase it. Mimi najua, many of our people, when you get a bit of money, the first thing you think of is buying land. But land is good, but don't put all your money into land. Because I've seen people who are sick being taken to India, and we have to fundraise for them as if they don't have a single cent. Because you can't sell the land tomorrow, to pay your medical bill. So land cannot sort your immediate needs. The land is good for long-term investment, but you have to mix. Put your money in an investment where you can get it back if you need it. So that's another area. You need to multiply your money. 4, write into the calendar. Spend money on yourself. Put a portion of the money which you enjoy yourself, here and now. Because we said you don't know about tomorrow, etc. You might have all the money and leave it for others. So they say, use the money to spare yourself as much as you can now. Yeah? If you want them to go and eat nyama ni Isiuru, uko na pesa and go there. Enjoy the weekend, come back. Tunaelewana? Yeah. Kila kumudhoni ule nda kuthinjira. Nda gwire tugite ate. Kumuthinjire bugirani with that particular day. You want to go out with some friends, it is now. So put some of your money aside to make yourself happy. We cannot give you the range of things to do. It is for you, your own heart, to feel that this is the way I can do. If you want to buy a uniform for the church or for the choir, because that makes you happy, go ahead and do it. But that falls in the land category. Give to others. Give to charity. The other portion of your money. Because as we said, it is more blessed to give than to receive. You actually feel good. Not only yourself. Like now, we're in January, a lot of children could not go to school, isn't it? But if you have a little money and you can take one child who will not have gone to secondary school to school, don't you feel good? Yeah, when you see them wearing the uniform, doing well, you feel there's a life you have touched, and that makes you happy. But that not only make you happy, it creates gratitude, to the person you have helped. And it makes that other person also happy. So you spread happiness, with the money that you give. So you encourage you to do that. But there are some warnings about giving. If you give somebody you don't know, you not feel the impact. Right now you put money in an envelope and deposit it to somebody in North Korea. You have never heard, you have never seen. That money is like money just thrown away because it has no emotional, impact on you. But you give it to a child of so and so, somebody you know, that gives you more happiness. 2, there are some people who you help when they need, you give the money. Meru County, the following week, the following month, the same person, when they need, they remember the one who give them rest. So if you analyze, you keep on giving money to the same person, and the same person keeps on coming, coming to you. Now, you cannot continue giving forever. One day, either you don't have money to give, or you have given somebody else. that person will not remember all the days you have given. And it will create bad relationships between you and, and that person. So you have to be conscious so that you don't create dependency in the process, which eventually destroys the relationship. So give in a way that you maintain a relationship. Lastly, personal rules. If you look like you're doing better in a society, there will be a lot of people coming to ask you for a loan. Kunaishinda hospitali, hii shinda shule, na tununua shamba, pesa itoshi. So people come to ask you for a loan. But you can give. But I think it's Shakespeare who warned against giving personal loans. And he said, don't give a loan because a loan loses itself and the friend. If you give somebody a loan and is not able to pay, the man hides, disappears from you. So you have killed the relationship and you have lost your money. So if you want to give money, give a gift. Okay, you might call it a loan, but in your mind, register that this loan will not be paid. So what you have given is an out and out gift. Let the person think that you have given a loan, but in your heart, make it an out gift which you don't expect to be returned. If you give it that way, you'll be happy because even if the money is not returned, then in your heart you knew that the money will be returned. So now, that's money used in a certain way, having a relationship, having balances in the life. Money for sure, can give you happiness. But should not be condemned. Money is bad, money is evil, but money is not. Actually, they say money is like oxygen. In the modern life, you cannot live without money. Others say money is so powerful that they can turn a man into a woman or a woman into a man, depending on how you define that. So, now it is for us to see how we harness this very powerful social tool for our own happiness. That's my message, for tonight. I know when I talk like this, we talk in the spirit of the sower. I always say that. Even when Jesus was preaching, he was giving the parable of the sower. The one who was scattering the seeds, some fell on thorns, others on stones, others by the wayside and were eaten by birds. But there are a few which fell on fertile soil, and they grew later into tall trees. What I've done tonight, I also scattered the seed. So let me hope there will be some few fertile soil where this seed can grow and give us happiness. God bless you immensely, and have as much happiness as you can in your lives. Thank you so much.
If you're happy and you know, stamp your feet. If you're happy and you know, say hello. Hello. If you're happy